Hello, this is Janet Michael. In addition to hosting The Valley Today each weekday at noon on the River 95.3, I also produce podcasts, and I'm excited to introduce you to a new podcast series in partnership with Lord Fairfax Community College. Having provided higher education and career training for the past half-century, LFCC is tightly interwoven into the fabric of the Northern Shenandoah Valley and Piedmont regions. Join me every week for conversations with current and former students to hear their funny and inspiring stories as we learn about their journey to higher education, the role that LFCC has played, where they are now, and where they plan to go. We'll also talk to current and former professors about their experiences and best memories of LFCC over the past 50 years. Get every single episode as they're released on our website at theriver953.com under the podcast tab, or you can subscribe for free in Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, on Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search for LFCC Stories. Hello and welcome to The Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Tuesday on the air today. However, it is Monday on the Zoom screen. Tourism Tuesday is what you are listening to, Winchester Frederick County edition. Justin Kearns, of course, is on the Zoom screen with me. He is the Executive Director of the Winchester Frederick County Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Good afternoon.
Eventually, I'm going to be able to say that, Justin, and not have to take a deep breath at the end.
We got to get something short for you.
Yeah, I could just say at the visitor center, but that just doesn't cover everything that you do.
Actually, it covers a very tiny percent of what we do. The majority of what we do is we market the destination. The visitor center is for people who, are already here in market and they're looking for additional things to do. But the primary charge of what our office is to actually draw people to come to the area, spend money, and then go home again. Visitor center is where my office is, and it's a very small kind of chunk of what we do. Very important part, but very small chunk of what we do. Yes.
How about this? Before the end of this pandemic, we will come up with a better way. That should give us plenty of time.
We got some time, right?
So who did you bring with you? Who is this other face that I'm seeing on our Zoom screen today?
Yeah, we got Jim Thompson with us this morning, and he probably should have been on before because he's been around in the area and he's got some restaurants here, but really caught my attention just from this past week. We have got a new empanada shop restaurant on the Walking Mall, and that kind of jumped up onto my radar, and I'm excited about that because I lived in Southern California and for a little bit, and I had one of those shops that I went to and absolutely loved. So I was really wishing we would get kind of a dedicated shop for that here. I know Sexy Mexi does. She has some fantastic ones that she does there, but it's just one or two that she's got there, and so now we've got a whole shop for it. So we've actually got 2 empanada places that we've got. But Jim is here. So welcome, Jim.
Hi, thanks for having me on. I appreciate you reaching out and giving us a chance to get our name out there.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Jim, I'm a food idiot. What is an empanada?
It's a good question. The best way I can explain an empanada is it's like a meat pie or a pastry filled with savory fillings and sweet as well. Turnovers is another good example, or calzone without all the red sauce in it would probably be the closest thing people are familiar with. And there's definitely different types of empanadas all over the Central and South America and Spain. There's fried ones. There's some made with cornmeal, and others are made with flours. Ours are kind of the classic Argentine Southern cone style from the countries of Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay. Kind of that style. The dough is a nice buttery, flaky dough that we bake. We don't fry them. And they're stuffed with some awesome savory fillings. We have right now we started out with 8, and then we're going to probably ramp up to 12 or 15 fillings, sweet and savory. And then we'll do special ones that we can kind of fill anything that's, it has a nice moist filling. Moist product can be filled into an empanada and be really tasty. I mean, chili would be like the basic thing. I could put chili in an empanada. It would be a chili empanada. It'd be delicious.
I think I like empanadas.
Yeah.
Oh, they're fantastic. You just take them to go, and you can grab a couple of them and
they have this magic to them. So we do a chimichurri sauce, which we make here fresh in house every day, and it's a basic sauce in Argentina. You can use it on grilled meats, but they're fantastic with empanadas. It's made with parsley and red onion, garlic, some oregano, vinegar, and olive oil. It's kind of herbaceous, but each thing on its own is delicious, but you put them together and this magic happens. The flavors just kind of hit every portion of your mouth. It's delicious,
So where are you located on the Walking Mall?
We are on 158 North Loud Street, where the former German Table was located. Small shop there, and it's a fast casual. You can grab and go, eat in, and if you want to have a quick bite. We kind of liken it to more of a pizzeria style than a full-on restaurant. So one of the very few areas on the Walking Mall, I think, right now that you can kind of go in and grab a quick thing and roll out. Now it's, like a pizza, it takes, 5 or 6 minutes to heat up some stuff we have in house. But if you want to order by the dozen or anything, I recommend calling or reaching out through our website and ordering them ahead of time and give us, 15, 20 minutes to get your order ready.
And I'm guessing you chose the Old Town Walking Mall because you're no stranger to having a restaurant on the Old Town Walking Mall.
No, not at all. So, I'm from Loudoun County, and we had an opportunity to take over a restaurant here on the Walking Mall, and we took that opportunity in February of all times, and unfortunately, as COVID hit, and we had to close down for a little bit. We opened it back up. With a pretty big splash. It took a large seating area outside there on the Walking Mall, and it had an outdoor beer garden of sorts there. So, and then we kind of made it through the summer with it. But as we go into the wintertime, things are starting to change a little bit. But we're trying to keep it going and keep the brand going, and we're real happy with the Walking Mall. It was amazing coming down here and seeing this thing for the first time, and I'm really like the area. So.
Okay, so you mentioned this a second ago. You took over Union Jack's in February. Yep. You are now opening an empanada restaurant mid-pandemic.
Yeah.
Is that? I don't want to say, are you crazy? But are you crazy?
Yeah, we get crazier. I like I said, I had some restaurants in Leesburg, and we actually moved my restaurant in Leesburg in February as well, and had to reopen another one. So yeah, pretty crazy. We weren't expecting all this to happen. I mean, we thought it was a great opportunity to kind of expand on the brand. And again, I'm originally I have restaurants in Leesburg, so that area was kind of blowing up in terms of this dining scene, and so we were happy to move downtown there into another historic building. And then when the Union Jacks kind of came along, we fell in love with this area down here. And you never know. We have big plans to expand very rapidly, and then kind of this pandemic hit, and it's like, wow, how do we pivot now? How do we make these things kind of work in this time? And very fortunately, we were I don't want to say funded enough, but we were kind of making the plans to kind of expand, and so we had a little bit of gas in the tank to kind of make it through. Are we making money? No, nobody's making money. None of the full service is making money. But fortunately, we still had our game plan going, and then there's been opportunity. A lot of restaurants haven't made it. And that's an unfortunate thing, and a lot of people have put out of work for this thing. So this is, our industry has been one of the hardest hit. So if we have an opportunity to expand, put some people back to work, and help us in the long run, because we're looking towards next year. And if, I'm hoping to God that this thing straightens out by March, because if it doesn't, you'll see a lot of us, the rest of us might just kind of throw our hands in the air and be like, okay, I know I've been in this business for 30 years, but I just can't go another year.
I'm going to go work at Chick-fil-A. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to go work at Chick-fil-A. I'm going to go pass out Chick-fil-A.
I'm done.
I'm going to ask him, my pleasure all day long, but but I'm not there yet,
I would guess that's probably part of the reason why you chose empanadas, because you mentioned fast casual. That kind of seems to be something that not only will do okay in a pandemic, but will thrive otherwise.
We're hoping so. When we started looking at this model, it's very much like having a pizza. If you order a couple of large pizzas, stick them in the fridge, you can eat them for a couple of days, but with empanadas, they'll last longer, quite frankly, and you can freeze them, reheat them, and one's a good snack, two's a healthier snack, three's probably a good meal, and, you can order a dozen, one person can eat 4 days, easy. So, we feel like, especially as the restrictions start to happen again, we until there's this vaccine that's available for everybody, we feel like this is probably going to be something that's going to help us all along, in our group, in terms of the restaurants, this fast casual, come and grab and go. And, I'm kind of seeing it already in the full service restaurants. People kind of slowing down. We don't know if it's because of the holidays coming up and everybody wants to be safe, or if it's just because at 10 o'clock you got to kind of pull everything and we see the numbers going up. So what I've learned at my other restaurant, it's a barbecue restaurant, that delivery and carry out does very, very well in those times. and barbecue and empanadas, those are things you can eat, once or twice a week and be happy. So at that metric, I think we'll be okay.
And Justin, you when I introduced you at the beginning, you talked about how your job is to market the area and drive traffic and people into our area so that they can shop, eat, stay, and then go home. I'm guessing the more restaurants that you have in your arsenal, the easier it is to get people to come to this area.
Yes, and especially at this time right now, people are trying to travel safely. That's on everyone's mind right now, and I know people are looking at that. Our industry research, everything shows that people are taking COVID cases into account before they go travel somewhere, and so they will look at that, and they want to be able to have some place where they feel comfortable going to. Fast casual is big on that. People, are less and less looking for a place to go sit down, and they're looking for, unless they can do it outside. Of course, it's kind of chilly right now, but thankfully the Old Town, they did a fantastic job with getting the heaters out to a lot of the restaurants. But even if you're not comfortable doing that, fast casual is a huge thing for people to be able to do and be able to feel like they can safely go in, grab their food, and come back out again and eat it at their leisure wherever they want to, whether it's their hotel or wherever they want to be able to eat it. So absolutely. And this is a unique thing. How many empanada shops do you have? And they're fun. They're absolutely fun. If you haven't had one, go and have one. You will fall in love with them, and they're addictive because it's not the same thing every single week. Like, you can be super creative and have funky things. And my favorite ones are the dessert ones. I haven't seen if you have any dessert ones, but oh my gosh, dessert empanadas are the best things in the world. I absolutely love them. Do you have any?
We're bringing them out this week.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, I have a sweet tooth. All right.
Well, that sounds awesome. I have to take the puppies to the vet on Friday, so I'm going to be out of the house. I may have to just run downtown and get one of everything and bring it home and eat my way through the weekend.
Oh my gosh. Oh, they're so fun. I'm so excited. You have what you said, one of your partners from South America, or?
No, he's lived abroad.
Okay.
He's lived abroad. He's lived in, he's Irish. He lived in Ireland. He's lived in, Europe and Argentina. I think his kids were there as young kids. So I think I want to say his story. He says his one child is very fair and redheaded, proper Irish young man, spoke Spanish before he spoke anything. I think, his first language. So he kind of introduced us to the product, and as a chef, I'm totally about learning how to make new things, and I'm very confident in my abilities to make things. So I started researching the culture of them and how they came along, and I was like, wow, this is a really cool model. And like you said, Justin, it's something different. You can every time you come in, you can mix and match a different batch and have a new experience every time you come in or bring them home. So, with this pandemic, it really was surprising to us, since we've only been open since Tuesday, that it's been well received. It's
good.
just
good.
Something new and just new enough to where it's not and approachable. We feel like so.
Yeah, very, very.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Justin Kearns. It is, of course, Tourism Tuesday. We are talking about Gringo, Gordo Empanada Shop that has opened on the Old Town Walking Mall in downtown Winchester. We're going to come back and talk with Jim Thompson and Justin Kearns in just a couple of minutes.
Do you know anyone who is struggling with financial hardships because of coronavirus? Our new webinar called Coping with the Money Crunch can help. We'll talk about immediate options to consider, revising or creating a spending plan, and lots of community resources. Then we'll cover how to narrow your priorities, contact creditors, and avoid scams and risky loans. The webinar is free, and you can either join by phone or through Zoom on a smartphone, tablet, or computer. You can find out more by visiting the Northern Shenandoah Valley Financial Education Program on Facebook or calling Karen Poff at 540-635-4549. Let me show you how to make your own plan or help someone you care about get through the crisis. Call 635-4549 or visit @NSV Financial Education on Facebook today.
Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. It is Tourism Tuesday. As you are listening to the show today, we, however, have met up on a Zoom screen on a Monday morning. Justin Kearns is on the Zoom with me, along with his guest, Jim Thompson. And Jim, before we talk a little bit more about the empanada shop that you opened on the Old Town Walking Mall, give me a rundown of the restaurants that you own, where they are, and what type of menu they have.
Okay, so I have a couple. We have the Union Jack we took over in February, as we discussed earlier. That's more of an English pub and restaurant style. But I think when we took over, I placed a new chef in there to kind of update the menu and lighten up the fare to encompass some beer centric stuff. We kind of pushed the envelope a little bit to kind of expand what they had before. But the classics, we tried to revamp some of the classics and get them up to speed. I feel like the recipes haven't been changed there in quite some time, so that's what we've been working on there. I have the Gringo Gordo. Obviously, we just opened up on Tuesday. And on the other side of the mountain, in Leesburg, in Old Town, we have a place called Yummy Pig Barbecue. It's been there. It's 6th year, which we just recently moved into Old Town there, into a historic building. And above that, it's a big building. So in the upstairs, we installed an Irish pub, like a classic Irish pub upstairs, called the Wild Geese Irish Pub and Restaurant. And that, when you walk in there, it looks like something right out of Ireland. All the furniture looks old. Everything looks old. The bar's brand new, but it looks old. All that stuff. So. That's what we have going on, and as we continue to look for other things, we're looking at a donut thing, and probably another empanada shop over in Loudon.
Well, if you want to carry on that Irish pub tradition, I lost mine here in Middletown, so it closed in the middle of the pandemic and didn't make it back. Nana's Irish Pub, and
really?
It's right here on Main Street, and my husband and I used to walk down there 2 or 3 times a week in the nice weather. You could come to Middletown.
They were popular.
If I could juggle another ball.
Well, what is it they say after you have, it's like kids, once you have 3 or more, having 6 or 7 really isn't that big of a difference. I'm sure it's the same for restaurants.
Right.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't have 6 or 7 kids, but we might want to ask people with 6 or 7 kids how they feel. But it really is like that. I think that 6 or 7 metric is there, but the 4 I have now is really like having 4 kids, and they just get exponentially harder every one of them.
So you mentioned in the first segment that you two are a chef. Does that play a role in what types of foods and what types of restaurants you want to open and be a part of?
It does. My whole career as a chef, I've always been interested in, I don't know if it's my ADD or whatever, but finding out the next new thing and learning the next new cuisine. So that really does help in opening different types of multiple, restaurants. I like the fact that we can do, I can open different concepts and still keep them under the umbrella, where the back end, all the management team kind of, no matter where they are, they can, outside the menu, it's all kind of the same. They know how to manage, and we're food driven because I am a chef, and that's really important to me. That the food really is good. That's and I feel very strongly that if the food is good, and the service is good, and the drinks are good, people will come. But it really starts with the food. I think you can forgive a drink here and there, the service if it's a little slow, but if the food is bad, it's hard to bring people back after that. People that are bartenders might not agree with me and more the service oriented part of it, but again, I'm a chef and I think that way. And we can have that front of the house, back of the house debate all day long.
I'm pretty sure a bartender would tell you that the better the drinks are, the better the food tastes. Therefore, they go hand in hand.
There's definitely that part of it as well.
I wanted to, real quick while you're here, so Union Jack upstairs, what's going on up there?
Oh, so
crazy.
We all had to pivot in COVID, and we had a group approach us and said, hey, we see this new trend going on, and we saw one take off over in Loudon. Do you ever heard of this Axes and O's place? And I said, yeah, I've heard it. It's doing pretty good. What are you thinking? And they said, well, we think we can put one upstairs in your space cheaply, and then pay your rent. and if it's a good partnership, you guys can handle all the food and drink. Because I feel like the Axes without the food and drink really doesn't, you can go out to your house and throw them, really.
Right.
But it seems like the trend right now is definitely beer and axe throwing. That's kind of started on the West Coast. It's kind of moved its way east.
Whoa. So I could be downstairs eating at Union Jack and somebody above me is throwing axes at a target upstairs.
Yes, that's right. There's 2 lanes, and it's been very popular. When we partnered in with the guys and they put the space up, at first I was a little skeptical when I saw them put it. I don't know if you've ever been up there, but it actually looks pretty nice. The ceilings are really high on our 3rd floor. It's got the big window that oversees the walking mall there, and then they have 2 lanes, and they have a lounge seating kind of setup going on. Right now it's by appointment. They can have 6 people there, and we service the food and the drink there from the Union Jack, so you can get all your favorites, and we have 32 taps. You can get anything you want. So it seems like it's very popular. It's definitely popular amongst the the 20 to 30 somethings for sure.
Okay,
and what's the name of that?
That one's called Chasing Axe. And then you can reach them through their Facebook page or their website, and then and schedule your time there if you like. But I think they're booking up pretty fast. We put out a post and it hit like 60,000 people or something. So
yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, Justin, I sense a Tourism Tuesday video coming.
Right.
I would be happy to have you over there, Justin. You should come out and check it out.
So, we've got to wrap up in a couple of minutes. Jim, tell me about the Gringo Gordo Empanada. Where is it? What are your hours? And where can people find your menu?
Okay, so you can find our menu at thegringogordo.com. That's our full menu that's up and coming, but we do have 8 right now that we're starting out with. You can follow us on Facebook. It's Gringo Gordo Empanadas Shop, Empanada Shop, and Instagram as well. That's how we kind of do most of our reach out to the public. We are located again at 158 North Loudon Street on the Walking Mall.
And your hours.
And our hours. Mondays we're closed Tuesday through Thursday, 12 to 8 currently. Friday we are 12 to 9. Saturday 10 to 9. Sunday 10 to 6. On Saturday and Sundays we'll start to do breakfast empanadas either this weekend or the following weekend. So if you're cruising down the Walking Mall, and they'll be a little bit larger than the ones we sell as $2.99. So, but it'll be something that's handheld. You can walk and cruise whenever you want on the street here and eat some awesome breakfast empanadas.
Literally,
and I think
right
it's perfect. You're right across from the espresso bar. I can get my mocha. I can come get that is genius.
Isn't that awesome? That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
So, and those are the grand plans. We just love the Walking Mall. I think it's a great opportunity for people that are coming in from the east, and vice versa. It's just a really, really cool thing down here, and I'm really happy to be here. So, thanks for having us on.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming. And I'm telling you, keep in mind that Irish pub in Middletown's not a bad idea. It would be a good workable idea.
I'll talk to my partner about that. He'd probably be like, okay, let's go.
Why not?
Yeah, that's another one.
So, Justin, can you give me a quick rundown on these holiday light walking and driving experiences that are happening?
Yeah, we don't have a ton of holiday things going on right now. Of course, you can always go to our website, visit winchesterva.com and click on the events tab. That has all the information on there as well. But we do have really kind of 2 lights events that are going on this year, which is great, up from last year. So we have one driving one that's free. That's going to be in Jim Burnett Park. That's going to be open November 30th through December 20th. That's going to be open every day from 5 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And that will be in Jim Burnett Park. And there's no cost to that. You can just follow signs to that. They do close it off at 8:30, so it's not whoever's in line at 8:30. They close the gate at 8:30, so get there a little bit early if you want to get through on that. And then you have Walking in a Winter Wonderland, which is going to be up at Clearbrook Park. And you can just go on our website and find out all the information on that. Again, that's the walking one, so there's a charge for that. It's much larger. That's going to be a much larger event. And I would need to check, I don't have it right in front of me, how they're going to be doing the Santa stuff. I don't know if they're going to have the cabin. I do not have that in front of me.
I'm trying to
right
remember.
now.
Tony was on from Frederick County Parks and Rec a couple of weeks ago, and they hadn't nailed that down yet. I do know you have to buy your tickets in advance because they're going to have to limit the number of people that can come in. And I don't think it opens until Black Friday. I don't think it opens until after Thanksgiving.
Right. November 27th to January 3rd is what we've got. But I don't have any information on the Santa yet. I know everybody's looking for Santa right now. I do not know.
Yeah, that would be one brave Santa and one set of,
Well, I mean, it's outdoors. The nice thing is, I think all of their stuff is outdoors this year. They used to have the cabin. I think it's going to be all outdoors this year. And it's safe to be out there. It's usually a little breeze going on, and you're going to be cold anyways. Wearing a mask is going to keep your face warmer. So I will actually be excited for that. I'm just going to have one on me. It's a good excuse to keep your face warm.
Well, Justin, Jim, thank you both for meeting me on the Zoom screen today. I do appreciate it.
Well, thanks you.
Thanks, Janet. Appreciate it.
We'll be back tomorrow. It is the Valley Business Today, Top of Virginia Regional Chamber's turn at the mic. So meet me back here just a few minutes after noon, and I will have that show ready to go for you.